Alright, so we all sit here today as seniors with 3 days of high school left. We are feeling all different types of things. Like, we're really nervous to move on, but we're excited to be done. But bottom line is, in 3 days, we're all done. We never have this class together again. We never have the struggle of trying to get out of the student parking lot after school and everyone's rushing to leave. And we never have 8 periods in one day. We'll have 2 or 3 classes a day, but like, no matter what, we're all moving on, whether it's close or far, we're all moving. Coming into freshman year, the summer, like right after 8th grade, I had a track practice, and my coach, in jumping, we always talk about keeping your chest up, your head up, standing tall. If you're 5'8", you want to be 6 foot, you want to stand tall to get higher, everything else. Well, my coach, who has been my coach forever, looked at me and said, Caden, you're going to be a freshman in high school. In high school, you have to stand tall. You have to keep your head up. No matter how upset you do or how upset you are, you have to keep your head up. Well, 2 weeks after he said this to me, I was in Delaware running at a regional track meet for the junior Olympic team. I long jumped earlier in the day, and then I was running the 4x1 later on. I was the anchor of the 4x1 team. We handed it off in, I think, 5th place. I brought us to about 2nd place. We were maybe 25 meters into the race, and my hip, felt like I was shot with a gun. My hip broke in 2 places, and yeah, I was coming into freshman year, supposed to be this stud runner. I was supposed to be amazing right off the bat, but couldn't run for 6 months. I was on crutches, so I couldn't play volleyball that year. But nothing was really the same after that. But through all of it, I had to keep my head up, and I had to stand tall and keep moving forward. And then later on in that year, in track season when I was finally able to run again, my dad, we had to come home from Disney World early. We go to Disney every year. We had to come home early. We thought he just had a stomach bug or something. Well, he was in the hospital for 3 months. He lost 70 pounds in 1 month. If you know him, he's a big dude. He was at least 300 pounds. He's jacked. We had to watch him, me and my brothers had to watch him die slowly every day. No one knew what was wrong with him. They were treating him for the wrong thing. It was awful. We watched him suffer. There were days where I would think to myself, maybe if he passed, it would be easier because he wouldn't have to suffer anymore. Watching him wither away to nothing might have been one of the hardest times in my life. After the 3 very long months, he was finally diagnosed with colon cancer. And the day he was diagnosed, my mom and oldest brother came home, told me right away, but they didn't get to tell my youngest brother, middle brother, I have a lot of brothers. And they didn't get to tell him because he's at a wrestling tournament. They were going to tell him when he got home, but he made finals the next day. So he was wrestling in finals out in Waynesburg, and we got a call that he went down to catch his balance, and a kid shot on him, dislocated his elbow, and broke his elbow in 2 places. So therefore, we went from spending the morning with my dad in the hospital to all night and everything else with my brother in the hospital. So when we got home, we finally got to tell my little brother. Well, he was so high from all the pain meds that they had him on, he was giggling and crying, but he didn't know why he was crying. The next morning, he woke up, and my mom was like, Braden, are you okay? How's your elbow feeling? He's like, Mom, did you tell me that Daddy has cancer? Was that real or was that a dream? I don't really remember it. She was like, yeah, well, then the water war started again. He was crying again. But through that, I was also playing volleyball for this national team. It's called Pittsburgh Elite. I was on their premier team. And while I was playing, I had to travel with different families all across the state, country, because we are a lot of out-of-PA stuff. But I had to travel with different families. My parents never got to watch me play a single game that season. I had to go away every weekend, not knowing if I was going to make it back to see my dad again, which was awful. But I had to keep my head up, and I had to keep moving forward, and I had to stand tall because I'm a 16-year-old girl who couldn't do anything about it. I had to just deal with it. And then after freshman year, almost into sophomore year, we thought he was clean. We thought he was good. Well, sophomore year, re-diagnosed, came back worse, cycle started again. It all happened again. But having to stand tall, keep my head up, be tough for my little brothers, and everything else, we moved forward through it. But dealing with East freshman, sophomore year, I also had to deal with losing friends because my parents are strict, and they would stop inviting me places because they knew that I wouldn't be allowed because my parents were strict. Or because I don't drink, so apparently I'm not cool. And I'm okay with that, but my friends weren't okay with that. So I couldn't hang on the fact that my friends didn't want to be my friends because I wasn't cool enough. So I had to stand tall and just push on through it. And then, leading up to senior year, indoor track, I was so excited because everything was going right. My dad's healthy, my brothers, my whole family's healthy. We're ready to go. Indoor season, I made states right off the bat. My first race to the year, I made states. Like, my time was fast enough. Second meet of the season, I ran hurdles early in the morning. Then I came for the 4x1, and the 4x1, 4x2 actually indoor, didn't go quite as planned. I was the anchor. Our third runner came in, handed me off the baton, and it was at Kent State, which I was looking to run at. So all the coaches were watching. All the pressure was on. They handed it off to me. I took off. Like, my brother said it was the fastest he's ever seen me run, and I've been running since I was little. But I felt like I was flying. I was going so fast, and then all of a sudden, it happened. Like, my hamstring just gave out on me. I thought that was the end of my senior year. I thought I was done the rest of the season. But after talking to my coaches and stuff, I remembered I have to stand tall. I have to move forward. So I got healthy, and I was ready to compete for in the state meet. I made it through prelims fine. Like, it was easy to get through prelims. I was in semis, coming over the last hurdle, and it happened again. My hamstring, it just didn't want to work for me. So going into the outdoor season, senior in high school, not knowing where I'm going to college yet. Now I do. I'm going to Slippery after run. But I'm going into the outdoor season nervous because I don't know what's my hamstring's going to do. I rehabbed it for how many months now. And the second dual meet, third meet of the year, I was long jumping. I hurdled, I long jumped, I do everything. So I long jumped, and I landed in the pit and jumped out like I always do, and went over to catch my breath. Well, when I went over to catch my breath, I felt this pain just shoot through my knee. It was probably one of the worst things other than my hamstrings that I felt. And I was like, what? I didn't know what was going on. So we went down to Children's. They really couldn't do anything. They x-rayed it, but we knew it wasn't a bone. We knew it was a muscle or something, so I had to get an MRI on it. I ended up tearing my popliteus muscle and my meniscus. So I had to run the rest of my senior year with a torn meniscus, which is not fun. It was rough, definitely. And then I sort of made it through, did what I had to do to get by. And then leading up to yesterday, WPO finals, I was nervous like any other meet. I knew I had to run a really good race to get into finals, but it wasn't just running the race. I had to. So many things in a hurdle race can go wrong. You can false start. You can hit a hurdle. Someone's hurdle can jump in your lane and hit you. So many things can go wrong. So I was like, okay, let's go out here, do my thing. Well, I was running my race, and I got to the fourth hurdle, and then all of a sudden, everything went numb. I couldn't hear anything. It got real blurry, and I just it felt like slow motion. Well, I finished the race, and I sat by to listen to who made finals. I'm standing there by myself, and then my coach walks over. We're standing there, and they announced the top 8 girls. I wasn't one of them. I looked at him, and I went to walk to the locker room because I knew I was going to start bawling. Well, he grabbed me, and this is the same coach who told me freshman year to keep my head up and to keep moving forward. He grabbed me and just hugged me, and I cried. I didn't know what to do. It was the first time in 3 years I didn't make states. I've competed in 5 outdoor state meets. It crushed me to not be able to compete in this next one, my senior year, to make it an even 6. I cried. I asked him. I told him it's unfair. I've worked so hard my whole life to make it to this point. I don't know what I'm going to do. And he just hugged me and said, I have a quote, so I'm going to read it off here. Baby girl, you need to keep your head up, and you need to stand tall. Everything he's told me since freshman year is no matter how hard things get, no matter what happens in life, you have to keep your head up. So leaving WPO finals last night, it was hard because I had to leave all my friends that I made on that track, and I had to leave all the memories and the great moments that I've experienced on that track. I had to leave it all there because I wasn't moving on to the next level. And it was hard, but I left with a smile on my face because I knew everything I've done the past 4 years was for a reason. And even though it didn't go right, I couldn't pity myself about it. I couldn't be upset that I didn't make states. I didn't make states. Oh well, I keep my head up. I'm competing in college. I just got to move forward. And if you take anything from this long, daunting speech, so no matter what happens in life, keep moving forward. No matter what happens in life, keep moving forward. never judge someone who you don't know, because you don't know what they're going through. Like, I can almost guarantee that a lot of you didn't know that I went through all of this in high school, because usually I'm a pretty cheerful person. I have my moments, but typically, you can never, don't let everyone know what's going on, like, and what's wrong. Like, your friends, like, they'll keep it, like, in you. Like, obviously I've talked to my friends about all this, but you don't want everyone to know. Because then you want everyone to, like, oh, she's that girl who tells everyone her problems, or she's that girl who rants all the time. So you never really want to do that. Never use what's going on at home or going on in your personal life as an excuse. Because there are so many times I could be like, oh, my dad's sick, my dad's dying, I suck at track because I got hurt. You can't do that. You have to keep your head up. You have to stand tall through everything. And complaining about it won't make it better. So the only thing you can really do is move forward. So, yeah. Bye, guys.